All right, and welcome to another episode of Not Suitable for Adults. And normally this is the show where you can come and we're going to talk about like specifically shows that we've been watching lately for kids and older kids and kids of all ages. I love that. Whatever. But you know what? This week is a special week.
Yes, so special. Hi.
So to begin.
Hello, I'm Natalie.
This is Natalie. I'm Rich, and we're joined by some new friends from the wonderful world of Twitter and independent podcasts.
Twitter podcasts.
This is Becky and Katie from Welcome to the Bottom, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Well, welcome. Tell us a little bit about yourselves.
Well, we are both kind of above middle-aged ladies.
Wait.
Dominant.
Above middle age. No. We are not above middle age.
We're about middle age.
Yeah.
Moms.
Yes.
Just getting through the grind.
Yep. And we talk about everything from raising kids to homeschooling, or not really homeschooling. And so we just excited to be here, and thank you for having us on.
Sure. Yeah, we're excited. We kind of put out the call, and you all were the first to jump on that invitation, and we sort of like let's get
first come, first serve.
Yeah.
We'll listen to him in a couple of weeks, and they'll have to do another one or something else.
No,
scrap that.
Yeah. Yeah, we talk about this a lot. Like it's really interesting, and it seems like, so we'll maybe talk about this a little bit before we get going into shows. But like seriously, like I was joking about sort of the independent podcast scene on Twitter, but honestly, like it's a huge, crazy community. And it seems like you all are kind of just fresh to that. Is that right?
Yeah, I think I started the podcast or the Twitter account maybe a month ago or so.
The Twitter account, yeah. Our podcast was started in November, but we're still pretty new to it.
Okay. So far, I think so far when I've the people that I interact with, I tend to do most of the Twitter stuff.
I don't like Twitter.
Yeah, Natalie's just like
Yeah, that's definitely a Becky thing, not me.
Yeah, Katie's typically the one that does like Facebook, or I think we have like an Instagram account that we
never put anything on.
Same,
and I also am the one that edits. So
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But I've noticed like, and maybe you have, or maybe it's different for you, but I found like as much as Twitter can be like a very like terrible place to spend a lot of time, when you're interacting with podcasts, it seems like it's a pretty supportive community.
Yeah, like really positive outlook on stuff, and people seem to like want to help you get your name out there too, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So they're like constantly retweeting you, and I'm doing the same thing. So
yeah, that's awesome. And yeah, what we're doing right now is
it's part of it.
It's a direct, I mean, we're collaborating with another podcast. It's through Twitter. It's a pretty cool thing that you can meet people from,
and that there's a pocket
everywhere.
Of it, and that there's a pocket of it that's just so nice. It's a very nice place to be.
It's a nice Twitter place, and it's encouraging, and yeah. Are you guys, I won't ask where you're from, but where are you guys at in the United States? Like Northwest, Southwest, Middle, Central?
We're sort of in the South. We're in Tennessee.
All right. Oh, cool.
Nice. I was looking at houses there.
I'm going to travel there this summer.
That's right. You were saying that.
Yeah. I'm going to hit up Nashville. Hopefully.
Well, just we've said it before, so we're in Nashville. So
right on.
Yeah.
I will currently we are. We're planning a move soon, but we're still going to be in the Middle Tennessee area. Got you. Nice. Well, we are not anywhere near there. We're in the Pacific Northwest. Yeah.
Sure.
Ooh. Yeah.
Well, cool. Let's get things going. What do you say?
I say sure.
So we sort of in our discussion, we talked about maybe focusing in on some of those mid 90s cartoons that are kind of like seminal, like so many of us grew up on. Natalie didn't grow up on them.
Yeah, so I have to say, when he was like, we're going to kind of talk about some like mid 90s things, I was like, I didn't do mid 90s cartoons. I didn't even have a TV. I didn't have the capability of those cartoons at that time. I didn't.
Oh man.
I know of them, and I will know what we are talking about, but I do not have an intimate, like, nostalgic thing for these things.
Like,
so I'm really interested to hear.
Yeah. We'll bring you there. We'll create that for you.
It's gonna be fun. I think especially when we get to, there's one show that I know you have no knowledge of.
Yes.
That when we get to it and we start describing what it is, I think it's gonna be both shocking and also delightful.
Well, why don't you start with that one?
We want to start, like, go ahead and just shoot that one out.
Go for it.
Let's do it.
I almost feel like I know what one you're talking
about. I'm kind of wondering.
So the one that we're talking about is Aaahhh Real Monsters.
Yes, I knew it.
Becky's favorite.
He told me earlier today, he was like, we might be talking about the show Aaahhh Real Monsters. And I'm like, what is that a thing? Did you just say a thing? Like, I don't know what that is. So go.
So we should
sell me on this idea.
So we should say, and I'm going to let our guests talk about this show because I think you all are especially excited about this show.
One of us is.
Okay.
So,
so I will say before we get into it that, like, for anyone listening who isn't sure about this, like, period of time, we talk about this a lot. This is sort of an era of cartoons where it was just like, whatever, just put it out there.
100%.
Yes.
Put it on TV, and it didn't matter if it was like there was no value to it other than just like
it's the TV is the babysitter kind of thing.
Yeah,
like,
but not like the tutor, just the babysitter. Like,
that's the bottom right there.
Right. Yeah. Welcome to the bottom. Yeah.
You can afford babysitters, the TV babysitter.
Yeah, I love it. So yeah, so I'd love to hear your thoughts on Aaahhh Real Monsters, and if you want to kind of describe the show for people who aren't familiar.
Yeah. So as a kid, I would randomly watch Nickelodeon, like I think the rest of America.
Yep.
And one of the
Except
shows,
for her.
one of the shows was Aaahhh Real Monsters.
Or was it?
It was
Okay.
Real Monsters.
Okay.
All right. So my mom would, she came in to check out what I was doing one day, and I was watching Aaahhh Real Monsters. And she's like, what the heck is this? Because, like, literally the characters are like this smashed down, pudgy little dude who holds his, like, eyeballs up with his hands, like, up in the air with his arms. And then there's this, like, weird snake looking thing that's, like, black and white. And then there's this weird other creature that I just remember really hairy armpits. And,
Yeah.
And they lived in the sewers. So they would come out of people's toilets.
What?
Okay, this is my nightmare. You guys.
Yeah. This is why she wasn't allowed to have TV.
This is my nightmare. Things coming out of the pipes of the toilets. I probably saw an episode of this sometime in my formidable childhood years, and now I have PTSD because now I remember things coming out of the toilets, and that's probably why I have this weird fear.
Oh man.
So that was my experience with Aaahhh Real Monsters. It was great. I think it ran not very long because when I typically tell people about this show, they're like, what in the world is that? I've never heard of that. But maybe 2 years.
Yeah, this was one of those shows, like, I think it was towards the kind of the end of an era. So there were shows that, like, really were super successful in this. What I think of as this sort of genre, and it was like Ren and Stimpy. So, like, Ren and Stimpy sort of began something, and this
Or like the
maybe,
Ed and
yeah. Oh yeah, exactly. Ed and Eddie.
Either of those.
And this is kind of like, can we do that? Can we do that just one more time? And
oh, you guys, I am looking up just some like
good,
images of this, and it is terrifying.
Yeah, they're real. Natalie, they're real monsters.
Real monsters.
I remember being maybe 10 and trying to explain this show to my mom about what, and she's like, turn the channel right now.
Yeah.
What is the purpose of this?
Exactly.
To scare children.
I wasn't scared. It was, I don't
Cool.
know. Yeah, I don't know why I watched it.
Well, you must have been a hardcore kid because
And the thing is, like, they were kind. Like,
Yes,
they weren't.
I
It
don't
wasn't
know,
like they
They
were
were
evil.
good monsters.
I don't know
I
why they
think.
were popping out of toilets.
that's terrifying. I have to say
What
that's
is-
just that took me over the edge.
The writer for that show has some issues.
Yeah, for sure. Same with Ed,
Sorry.
and Eddie. That was weird too.
So
What
it
was
looks
Ed-
like they went from
Yeah.
94 to 97, a total of 4 seasons.
Wow, that was longer than I thought.
Long enough.
Definitely, maybe too long.
I was
Man.
more into the Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Love that.
Yes.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Are You
That's
Afraid of the Dark
actually
was good.
scary. Not.
They recently made like new episodes of that.
Yeah. I saw that.
Sorry. I digress.
I think Are You Afraid of the Dark sort of began. I think that's like the gateway for all the people who are into like true crime now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Amen. That's what
I
I was just
agree.
watching. True Conviction downstairs.
Yeah, I think that there's a lot of this that like sort of set people up for the future, and that's definitely one of those. And then because then like also like What Would You Do and Double
Oh,
Dare
yeah.
sort of set you up for like things like now so many people love like Ninja Warrior and things like that. Like you need more things like that.
Well,
So
and
I
I watched.
didn't- Go ahead.
Go ahead. Oh, you were Jinx. No, I was kidding. I also watched Rescue 911. Do you guys remember that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Now,
Oh, yeah.
that is my kind
Yeah.
of TV right there.
That's real TV. I
I'll
have.
tell you what I remember from that one was when the
Oh.
boy got his tongue stuck in the Yoo-hoo bottle.
Oh my
Oh my gosh! First of
thing?
all, what?
He stuck his tongue. Again, this must be PTSD coming back to haunt me. But I remember this, like his tongue got stuck in a Yoo-hoo bottle and they
Yeah.
had to like call the fire department to like cut the bottle off of his tongue.
I don't even
Would have
understand
been
how
like,
that's
I'm getting a
possible.
hammer.
Oh my gosh.
You know, did you not as a kid like stick your tongue into the necks of the bottle?
Yes,
No.
but they like how would it
Listen,
get stuck?
It was on
That's-
Rescue 911. That means it's
That's a
true.
big hole.
Yeah. And like
No,
it's all
I'm pretty like,
slippery.
Now I remember it being a Yoo-hoo bottle. I could have just also made that up in my brain, the Yoo-hoo thing.
I was
But
like, that
it was
Yoo-hoo bottle is quite large.
it's pretty big, yeah.
Yeah.
That's why it's terrifying.
Okay.
That is funny. I remember the episode where, and I can still see it like vividly. The boy was told to go get like a knife, I think, or something, and like a butter knife, but he actually got like a steak knife.
Oh gosh.
And and his brother was running around the corner and stabs him in the gut. And I was like,
Oh my
he's
gosh.
dead. Like I knew right away. He was,
Oh
but
good.
Oh,
he was
man.
very PTSD.
Oh, I should start a podcast on like 911 calls.
Go
That
back
would-
and you should do like a watch through like episodic
Rescue 911
Rescue
watch
911 watch through. podcast.
That would be amazing.
People would love that. Hey, let's talk about some kids shows.
Yes.
Okay.
Kid shows.
So the next one that you mentioned in our discussion is one that we've talked about before, but again, we're here to learn from what you think about these things.
Okay.
And so the next one you mentioned was Rugrats. Now we've talked about Rugrats before. It's another one that Natalie didn't really watch as a kid.
So let
Yeah.
me explain to them
Yeah.
because they may not know. I grew up in a household during this time. We lived with my grandparents for a certain amount of time, and that was like Turner Classic Movies. That was like TV Land.
Gotcha.
I know all of the old like black and white.
Did you get Nick at Night?
Sometimes.
Okay.
But then when we got into our house that my parents still currently live in, we didn't have cable. It wasn't until my brother and I left for college that my dad was like, hey, we should get like channels. And then they did, and now they have they have more channels than we do. But so these things that people grew up on, I like had no idea about other than what my friends were watching at the time. And
Right.
I had no idea.
Okay, we're going to do a quick parenting break so we can figure out what Cora needs. So when it comes to Rugrats, what I've said about that is one, that was a show me and my sister watched all the time. We absolutely loved Rugrats. But it took a while, and this is sort of a funny thing about my family. It took a while for my mom to be comfortable with us watching Rugrats, and the reason is that she didn't like that you would call children Rugrats. She thought that was mean.
Oh.
Which is
Super
funny
sweet.
because I think I wasn't really. What was the name of the doctor?
Dr. Lipschitz.
Yes.
That's it. So that's the reason why I wasn't allowed to watch Rugrats.
and yeah, so now grown up, I went back for the show to watch it, and I was like, oh man, there's so much stuff hidden in here for grown-ups.
Yeah.
Like literally there's a scene where like grandpa's hiding his dirty videos. Like there's a lot of stuff. Yes.
Yeah.
Never knew that.
Or like when the mom is pregnant with Dill or something, there's like a whole song about, I don't know, it's just like really not appropriate maybe for all kids.
Wow.
Yeah.
I guess I'm still jaded though, so I missed all of that.
Super sheltered.
I am very evidently. I didn't think I was, but
Yeah, that's all.
I just liked it for the storylines.
yeah. I'm just here for the rich character development.
Angelica, I loved her.
Oh my
gosh, Angelica.
Oh yeah.
Oh, what a good show.
Now, sweet little, what's his name with the red hair and
Chucky.
the looks like this.
Chucky.
Like he's got his little glasses on. He's a cute little
Chucky
thing.
is how my mom got to be okay with Rugrats. Like she started watching it with us, and she just fell in love with Chucky. She thought he was the cutest kid.
And so that justified the rest of the
So then she was like,
TV
you know
show.
what? Oh, okay, I get it. Like,
Yeah.
it's a bunch of Rugrats.
They're just a bunch of Rugrats. That sounds like something your mom would call like our kids now.
Yeah.
Like they're
Sure.
just look at those little Rugrats.
A term of endearment. But
Anyway,
yeah, but again, there was like, if you go back and watch it, there's just nothing in there that's good. It's it's
There's probably a reason I haven't ever rewatched it.
well, yeah, that's the thing is like all of these things are so much fun to watch. I think so recently I've encountered this term that I don't know if it's like an industry term or something, but someone described this as anarchic cartoons, which are like just there for whatever, like there's no point to them. But
Right.
that's all about just like whatever crazy thing happens in the next episode. And I think that's kind of what it is. And it set up like then future like it basically justified everything that happened ever on Cartoon Network. Like,
Oh my gosh, yeah.
because
I am curious. You guys said you were a moms.
Yes.
Would now is Rugrats something that you'd put on for your kids now?
Totally.
I would too.
Well, I didn't grow up with it, so I don't think of it to just put on. So I'm just curious wondering like kids watching it to then showing their kids, because I remember watching SpongeBob SquarePants, and I will turn on SpongeBob SquarePants for Cora because I think it's hilarious.
Right?
But some people that didn't watch SpongeBob SquarePants would go like, why are you showing your kid this show?
And that's like true. We actually had people say that to us.
So it's just, I'm interested in knowing like the Aaahhh Real Monsters or Rugrats, if you would show these to your kids now. Of course, I don't know how old y'all's kids are.
So I have a 9-year-old daughter and then like a 13-year-old son.
Okay.
And
aren't they 8 and 12?
oh yeah.
Oh,
I said 9 and 13. I went at the
that's
age.
staying in. That's staying in.
Oh wow! I'm sorry. I was like,
I have an 8-year-old and a 12-year-old, and I don't think either one of them would be interested.
That's why you have a close friend to remember how old your kids are.
Yeah.
mine. My daughter just turned 10 yesterday, and my son will be 12 in May. So
Okay,
yeah,
so you guys have older kids. So that
yes,
makes
we do.
Yeah, okay. So that makes sense to me, because I'm not sure that Cora would really enjoy Aaahhh Real Monsters. I think she would be a little creeped out by them, but maybe that's because I would be creeped out by them.
Well, even my kids, I don't think that they would really watch that show either. It's just, I don't.
Well, your kid's into like Ninjago or.
Oh my
weird
gosh,
stuff.
that's one of them.
We're not going to talk about that.
That's a
That's
horrible
so bad.
show.
We tried to introduce our kids to the cartoons that we watched, and there was little to no interest.
My kids like it. They get into it. H really liked the Wild Thornberrys Rugrats mashup movie.
Really?
Oh my gosh, I love that movie.
Oh,
that's a great movie. And now anytime we hear that song where they're like rocking out in the van, I can't remember what song it is now. She loves it. She's like, this is a classic.
They did a mashup movie. Interesting.
Yeah.
So Wild Thornberrys was one that we were going to talk about too, right?
Yeah,
yes,
but before we get
love
to
Wild Thornberrys.
I think before we really dive into Wild Thornberrys, maybe we should take a little quick break.
We're going to detour.
We're going to go over and this is your first trip with us. We like to take a stop over what we call Promoville. And we're back.
I hope you guys enjoyed Promoville.
Yeah.
It was fun.
It was, I just can't talk about it.
Blinking, you'll miss it.
Wait, what was y'all's favorite part of Promoville?
Oh my god. You're like
third one.
Like, yeah.
Like blinking and then coming back.
The blink,
The part where your eyes were closed in the blink.
Yes.
So Wild Thornberrys. I'd love for one of our guests to talk a little bit about what that show is.
This is what I remember, and it's probably convoluted in my jaded memory, but I remember it was a family, and they like were on the road, and they traveled all the time in like an RV, I feel like. And I just remember there were just different adventures. They would interact with animals, and different problems would happen, and I chuckled a few times, but that's really all I can remember.
Really?
Because not a lot of my friends watched it. I felt like it was like a Barney thing. Like, you don't tell people.
What?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, you don't tell people you watch Barney or Wild Thornberrys.
I watch Wild Thornberrys.
So anyways, that's what I remember. Do you remember watching it?
Yes.
Okay, what I missed?
Okay, so the girl could talk to animals.
Mhm.
That was
Throw
right.
that up in there.
Yeah, sorry.
And her mom and dad were like
Scientists?
they were like video recorders for wild animals. And so they would go on these like crazy adventures, and their RV could turn into like crazy stuff, and it was cool.
Are you sure that wasn't Magic School Bus?
No.
Okay,
It was
I'm just
also
kidding.
Magic
I'm just kidding.
So the dad was like a wildlife kind of host
Was it?
for his
Yes.
own TV show, kind of, and the mom was the
videographer.
videographer.
That's right.
Yes.
And this is one I semi remember. I had to refresh my memory, but yes, they have an older girl that is super like
very into herself.
When you say into yourself, meaning like she's inward.
Introvert?
She has like
Introverted.
the hair in front of her
That's
face.
right. I was thinking it was like I was thinking she was kind of
It's the opposite probably of what you're thinking.
I was remembering her as like a valley girl who was like did not belong in the woods.
Me too. Me too, though.
Yeah.
I think she was like really like closed off and didn't want to like.
Interesting.
She was like this teenager, like whatever.
Definitely a teenager.
Maybe that sounds like.
And then the girl, the other girl, she could talk to animals, but nobody knew about that. I think.
I think that her sister ends up finding out.
So the sister eventually, I guess, finds out about
Correct.
the animal talking.
So here's what I did. I did a quick Google because I need to see their faces again.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the older sister. The reason I think we're thinking two different things is like she's like the way too cool for school girl.
Yeah.
So she's like a blonde with like baggy jeans.
Yes.
Yep, I pulled her
and
up
so that's
too.
why I think we were mixing up like thoughts, but you're right. Her personality is 100% what you said.
Okay, because I was thinking of like the freaks and geeks kind of girl, like
Gothic. Oh.
Right. So yeah, not quite so dark, but
okay.
But that kind of thing. Like she's definitely like too cool for school, cooler than her family.
And then the brother was like raised by animals and
like
was adopted.
Hey, do you all know who the voice of the father on the Wild Thornberrys is?
Oh,
you probably would.
Mm-hmm.
No,
Natalie
I don't.
knows.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Natalie knows it.
It's Tim Curry.
It's Tim Curry.
What?
Wow.
And it's this guy. He's Nigel Thornberry. but But
That was
it's
really
Tim
good.
Curry. It's Tim Curry doing that voice, which
Yes.
I find
Wow.
amazing. Wow. Wait, there's so many people on this show. I'm gonna go down a Wild Thornberrys like deep dive here.
So the little brother was, I was saying, the little brother was raised by animals and they adopted him, right? Because he's like crazy. Not crazy, but he's like,
Is it like
feral.
Tarzan?
Yeah, he was like a Tarzan boy, and they like found him in the jungle, and they kind of just like were like, "You need food and shelter. Come on."
You would
Wow.
think he would be the one that could talk to animals.
Yeah, you would think so. Hey, you know
That's
what?
how they tried to make it enhanced.
Or you would think that Eliza would at least be able to talk to him.
Right? Oh, that's true. Ooh.
Oh, let's do a spinoff. Let's do a reboot.
Yeah,
Hey,
I think
who
you're
wants?
onto something.
we can call it the Not So Wild Thornberry.
Oh yeah, like tame
Or the
Thornberrys.
Still Wild.
The tame Thornberrys. Madam Thornberry.
Okay, no one's gonna guess who played Donnie, the younger brother, on the Wild Thornberrys.
Does he speak words?
No.
Okay. I assume.
I don't think it's possible to guess.
Okay, go ahead.
But you can try. I mean, no, try if you want to. But
I don't even know any actors that do voice. I mean, that's not like Tim Allen or Ellen
No.
DeGeneres, like the big
no,
ones.
it's neither.
Those are the two YouTubers.
It's neither of those two very similar actors.
I know they seem like the same person.
I mean, I know that this is not either of those two. Okay.
You're right.
We've ruled out Ellen and Tim.
We know for sure it's not Tim or Ellen.
And it's probably
Okay.
not Tim Curry again. No,
Right.
it's Donnie Thornberry is voiced by Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Wow.
You should have known that.
I should have known
Wow.
that.
That was a
Darn.
This
That was a
show
big-
is
Okay,
full
guys.
of surprises.
Which one is Flea?
Flea's the
What
bassist.
you
Flea's the
doing?
bassist for the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
She said,
Okay.
"Which one is Fleet for the Red Hot Chili?"
Oh, I don't
Red
even
Hot Chili
know.
Peppers.
It's
Are
the
they the
small
one-
red one. I don't
Are they
know.
the ones that
He's
do?
the littlest chili pepper.
That's what you heard me. I know it's a band. It's okay.
Okay.
It's-
Red Hot
I mean,
Chili.
it-
I
Don't
mean,
they sing Californication?
It's this guy.
Hotel California, right?
No,
Okay, this
Oh, he's.
they don't sing.
ew.
Yeah,
Not
who sings Hotel California?
Hotel
They sing Hotel
California.
This is
California.
how our podcast goes, by the way. It is not.
it's great so
Anyways,
far.
I'm sorry. I digress. Let's come back to voice people that I don't know.
Yeah, well, I don't think anyone knew that Flea had ever been a voice actor, but there it is.
No. It's interesting.
This was a show. I think this show happened when it was too young for me. I think I understand what you're talking about with like, you don't tell people you watch the Wild Thornberrys.
Now you get it.
Yeah, I think it happened right at the moment I was too old for it, and I probably still watched it because my sister was a couple years younger than me.
Okay, so it was 98 to 04.
Yeah.
Wow.
What?
that
Wild Thornberrys?
Yeah.
I believe it.
That is another show that whenever we talked on our podcast, I watch shows that are too young for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that means that show started when I was 12. So I think I was too old at that point for the Wild Thornberrys, but I definitely saw some episodes of it.
Okay, wait. If I did math correctly and listened, you were born in 85?
I was born in 86.
Oh, see? I did math correctly.
Yeah. You're right there. It was right there. Yeah, man. This is like a memory lane. This is so
Don't you love
I'm
it?
so glad you guys are having so much fun on this
She's
this
like,
90s memory lane.
oh, okay. Tell us something that you listened or watched.
You guys, you don't want to know what I okay, really it was like the Andy Griffith show.
Okay, my great grandma babysat me, so I lived with you then. I mean, in that same, I didn't really like the Andy Griffith show.
Mhm.
I preferred more like the I Love Lucy, Bewitched,
Yes.
that.
I was right there. I mean, so when I married Rich, his mom started talking to me about the sort of stuff I like to watch and stuff, and we realized that we're both old souls.
Got you.
She was
if by that you mean you both like old movies,
if by that I mean like we've both seen Gone with the Wind and loved it. So like,
yeah, I have not
Wind
seen Gone with the Wind.
That's the thing. Like I grew up.
You probably didn't watch like Dirty Dancing, Pretty Woman, any of 16 Candles.
I saw those when I was a little bit older.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, that's the difference.
Yes. So I was just maybe like a decade behind those as far as like what I was watching.
You kind of were almost there too.
Like, what else did I watch? What's the Ponderosa? The Ponderosa.
Is that the show?
Bonanza.
Yeah.
Oh, I've been to where they
yeah.
filmed. My parents took me there and I learned about Bonanza.
Yes.
A set.
Okay, I won't go into all the things that I watched because we did, for a space of time, my family, while we were building our home, like I said, that my parents live in now, we lived with my grandparents.
And you watched what your grandpa wanted to watch.
We watched that. And now I have a special place in my heart for all of like the Turner Classic Movies and all of those sorts of things. I know about all of those actors, but you ask me about 90s cartoons, and I mean, but also I was raised by pretty conservative parents, so
right.
That also means so that like when we got together, we between the two of us knew about almost every movie that has ever been made. Because I always wanted to see whatever the new movie, all the new stuff was when she wasn't able to see all the new stuff. And so like she has all the old knowledge and I had a lot of new knowledge when we got together.
Got an old spirit.
And then we had a kid and then we didn't get to see movies anymore.
Yeah. What's a movie?
So true.
Actually, truthfully, the last movie, I think this is still... No, maybe we saw the newest Star Wars movie more recently, but didn't we? The last
you mean
movie,
in the theater?
in the theater.
When was the last time any of us were in a theater?
Oh my god!
I was gonna say, are yours open in Tennessee? Because ours are not.
No, they're not.
No.
So it was either the last Star Wars or before that for sure. In the running is Frozen 2. That was the last thing we saw.
I think mine was Frozen 2 also. That's sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I watched. I did. I take my kids about once a year. They get once a year because it's expensive.
You guys went to a drive-in movie theater.
Oh, I lied.
Last weekend.
Yes, we did. Our local movie theaters that are closed have converted to outdoor movie theaters, and it is the Pacific Northwest. But I just kept the car running. My daughter plugged in an electric blanket, and I opened the hatch of the minivan, and it was a great night.
That sounds awesome.
Amazing.
Yeah, it was. She loved it.
That's pretty cool.
I want to do that.
No, it was at the beach.
Where we're moving, there are drive-in movie theaters.
That's true.
Right?
When are you guys moving?
Oh, like in 3 weeks.
Yeah, very soon.
Oh, dang. Okay.
We finally got to a place where like my job is turned into it's like this is just gonna be virtual from now on. Like
Thanks,
even
COVID.
Even after everything's over, they're like, there's no reason for us to have some of these jobs in a building. So
and I work from home too, so it's just
we're just moving to a part of the state where the cost of living is like
we're getting out
1/3
of Nashville.
what it is in the city. So.
Yeah, I get that. And you're moving before your daughter's school age. I mean, school if that's
Smart
a thing.
too, yeah,
that's the big
goal.
thing.
Mm-hmm. Did we want to talk about our last one really quickly?
There's
one that I semi remember.
Yeah. So the last one that was on the list was Hey Arnold with the football-headed boy.
Football-headed boy.
Love that football head.
Yeah, I was not a fan of it.
I don't know. I weirdly liked it. It was just like this nerdy kid with, I don't know if he was even nerdy. He might have been kind of popular.
I think he was just he was just like a kid. It was just a show about a kid with a weird head.
I mean, they were more of like the like inner city kids, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's true. It was a very diverse group.
Urban was the word I was trying to use.
Yeah. But I think the plot line to the story was the fact that girl was like insane stalker obsessed with him.
Yeah, that one.
Did she have a unibrow?
Yeah, she had a unibrow.
She did.
Good one.
You know what that's about, don't you?
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Thank you for putting me on blast on the internet. I love it.
Love you.
Sorry, we're bringing out the feisty in her.
That's right.
Welcome
Hey
to the
Arnold. Hey Arnold came out like in the middle of so many shows about the exact same thing. There were so many shows about kids in like middle school because there was Hey Arnold and Doug. I think
Doug.
so. Doug
I love
preceded
Doug.
Hey Arnold. And then there was also what was that show called? Pepper Ann. Do you remember Pepper Ann?
Oh my gosh, loved Pepper
That
Ann.
sounds familiar.
What?
Pepper Ann has had, I think, the most one of the most memorable opening theme songs that I could still sing. I think the whole thing.
Do
I
it.
think I could too. Yeah.
It's this. No, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna.
No,
do
yeah,
it.
do
you
like
are.
a section for
It's
me
like
so I know what
like
you're talking
Pepper
about.
Ann marching in her own parade. Pepper Ann, she's like 1 in a million.
Oh,
And there's this big like
Wow.
screaming thing that happens.
That was good.
Yeah.
You like Green Day for a second.
No, it was a very like
Green Day too.
it was very like that actually.
It
though.
was like rocker, like it's like
Wow.
Yeah, it was a
rocker,
super
No
rocky
idea.
opening. And then there were shows like Recess.
I gotta look at
and
her.
man, there's so many, but there were just so
I
many
liked
shows
Recess.
about kids
that
in
was
that
good.
age range. Yeah,
was
Recess was fun. That was like a Saturday morning cartoon.
It was like a Saturday morning cartoon.
Yes.
Are
So
you finding Pepper Ann?
just for
Katie's
just for
looking up
kicks and
Pepper Ann.
giggles. Hey Arnold was 96 to 04.
Wow, I didn't know it ran that long.
What was it? He lived with his grandpa, right?
Mm.
His grandpa and his
Grandparents.
grandma.
That's
Yeah.
right. Both of his grandparents.
Yeah.
Pepper Ann was on from 97 to 2000. So I was in well, so I did not watch
That makes sense.
I did. I totally watched
I'm
that.
like, didn't you watch Gullah Gullah Island around
Gullah
that time?
Gullah
Gullah Gullah
Island.
Island. Yeah.
Have you talked about that one?
We've not.
No, but we did discover it.
You would
Not
love
too-
it.
Not too long ago. Cora discovered it, and I turned it on for her. I was like, I kind of remember this, and suddenly I was like, oh.
Yep.
Bright
bright
sunny
sunny
weather,
weather.
let's all go to
Gullah
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 Island.
Island.
Gullah Gullah.
Loved that show.
It's funny how like I was like, oh okay, I sort of remember this, and I turn it on and I'm like singing every
Wait,
single
this was
word.
my favorite show.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
Oh man.
Yes.
So many good shows. I feel like we shortchanged Hey Arnold, but I also think that maybe Pepper Ann and Gullah Gullah Island were better shows than that. I don't
Maybe,
know,
huh?
maybe.
Possibly.
Was Gullah Gullah Island a good show?
I don't know.
It was great.
Yeah, no, it's great and memorable for sure. I can't remember much beyond the song though, to be honest.
There was a come on.
No.
There was a toad that like
Yeah.
hopped around. It was,
Binga
like,
Binga.
Binga, yeah.
Yeah, See, I didn't remember the name.
Me neither.
But the family, I believe she was a teacher for like island kids or something.
And her name was Natalie.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Yes, her name was Natalie,
I
so that
like,
was cool.
if there was an Instagram back then, I would have followed him. Like, I was loving that family. I wanted to be a part of that.
Well, they always dressed in such bright colors
Yeah.
and
they
did all
sang.
of the like super cultural things.
Yes.
And it was very educational. It was much more educational than Hey Arnold, probably.
That's why I watched that one. And
That's
none of
right.
them talked about.
I love me some football head.
Yeah. Yeah, you do.
Football hit.
Oh man. This has been really fun.
This has been a good one.
It has been.
really
Like
has,
sometimes
yeah.
you go down memory lane and you're just like, oh yeah, just all those shows. But like these, I feel like I just relived my childhood a little bit.
It was good stuff.
I
Glad we
mean,
could
you
help.
guys would know nothing about any of the things that I saw in my
Yeah,
childhood.
Natalie did not relive her childhood.
I beg
She-
to differ. I think I could relate somehow because I had enough of the old granny with me.
Yeah.
Okay, here you go. You ready?
Okay.
You ready? The Scarecrow and Mrs. King.
Yeah, you're still getting that reaction.
Okay,
Yeah,
there it
same
is.
one. Yep.
Is
Congratulations.
that like the Wizard of Oz?
No. Oh, no. But it was something
I'm gonna look it up.
we really looked forward to. Bruce Boxleitner was his name. And
Okay.
woo, I'm just gonna
Huh.
woof it.
Just woof.
Wait. Tell me the name again.
The Scarecrow and Mrs. King.
Okay, I'm gonna.
It was kind of like crime. So he was like a secret agent, and she was like just like a normal housewife. And they were friends, but they were like solving crimes together.
And they were doing that
and they were
dance.
Doing this.
We see it.
Yeah, they can see you.
See, I told you. You guys don't want to hear about the things that I grew up with.
No, that's cool.
Yeah, I think my parents were cooler than your grandparents.
Ooh.
I'm kidding. I have never heard of this.
Huh. It was one that we looked forward to.
That was us and MacGyver.
Oh, there you go.
MacGyver was good too.
Yeah.
A-Team.
Yeah.
The A-Team.
The A-Team was
the
good.
A-Team. Nah, he got a little annoying. His get up.
Okay.
We got a line here.
But I mean, none of those things would go on this podcast, which is about kids shows.
Yeah, all those shows were suitable for adults.
All of those shows were suitable for Natalie, who was an adult when she was 11.
Yeah, Well, this has been a super fun evening. Katie and Becky, tell us, tell the listeners where they can find you, and feel free to promote whatever you want to promote at this point.
Have at it.
Awesome. So you guys can check us out on Apple or Spotify. Welcome to the Bottom. You can always check us out on Twitter, Facebook, and kind of Instagram. The Bottom is kind of just about me and Katie living it up, momming it up, and just letting you guys hear our stories from that.
Yeah, and 99% of them are funny. Well, okay, 80 of them are funny, 20% super inappropriate. So if you want to listen to the adult humor that we live and all of it is true, hit us up. Welcome to the Bottom.
Fantastic.
Awesome. Well, again, it was a great night hanging out with you. Just a couple of quick plugs to wrap things up here. So we do thank you for spending some time on Not Suitable for Adults. Definitely go follow Welcome to the Bottom. They're super great. We do want to thank also Shad Warrell. He is the guy who made our theme music for us, and he's great. You can find him on SoundCloud at soundcloud.com/Shad-Warrell, and I'll put that in the show notes so you can click on that there. And listen, just you can tell we did it tonight. We're out in the world making friends. You're meeting new people. You can still do it. It's still possible. Still be safe. Mm-hmm. But no matter what, just remember that you are the boss.
So watch whatever you want.
Okay, bye.
Bye.